What it do, Internet? David Baugh here, and today is Valentine's Day, and I wanted to do something special with the babe here. I found online there is a scientifically thought out and done series of questions to make you fall in love with a complete stranger. Now, we are obviously not complete strangers, but you and I are, Internet, so I figured this would be the perfect time to have us get together.
Set one.
Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want to as a dinner guest?
Probably my mom. She brings some dope wine.
yeah.
She's a lot of fun to supper. Yeah.
I would say Alejandro Jodorowsky, because I've always wanted to meet him. Probably never going to happen, but...
I feel like that'd be a really interesting dinner.
Would you like to be famous, and in what way? I would like to be famous for filmmaking.
I don't want to be famous. I want to be rich, but I don't really want to be famous.
You want to be rich, but not famous?
I don't know. Yeah, rich. If I had to choose, it'd be rich.
Okay.
Over famous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
No.
No? You don't?
Do not.
And why?
I don't know. I don't like the sound of sounding scripted or sounding rehearsed.
See, I absolutely do that.
Do you really?
Sometimes. You know, I tend to go through stuff in my head all the time anyway. And then see what comes about. I don't know.
But, like, that's saying, like, you sit, like, before you make a phone call, you sit with yourself and you're like... You do that?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Well, I like to be prepared
You're,
for
like,
it.
judging it a little.
I like to be prepared for the phone call, you know, and I like to know what I'm going to be up against.
Sure.
I like to work through some of the things in my head. Fine.
It's good.
Okay. What would constitute a perfect day for you? A perfect day for me would be... I have to be by some body of water somewhere. It would be fun. I feel like I'd probably also want to be filming something. Would be a good time. And then, you know, hanging out with people that I care about.
On, like, perfect day?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, perfect day would be, like, a day of, like, motor stuff. Like, four-wheelers and dirt bikes and beer.
When did you last sing to yourself or to somebody else? I did that yesterday. For the video yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I sang that song that I wrote.
I sang today.
You can check the video out somewhere. Maybe there's a card. I don't know. I probably won't do that. Every day.
Every single day. Every single day.
Yeah?
Legitimately sing every day.
Number 6. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Absolutely, the body.
But you would be feeble-minded.
Why feeble? Depending, maybe. Or maybe I'm just a very, very wise 90-year-old with a rockin' ass body.
Well, that was the deal. It's either the mind or the body. So it seems like...
Oh, so I'd have the 30-year-old... But then you'd have both anyway, then.
No. You have one or the other. You have to choose one or the other.
Right, but if I was
the body, I would choose the mind.
I would choose the body.
I mean, I feel like I could keep going with my mind, right? You know, I could keep writing stuff. I could keep doing stuff.
Yeah, but if your body's dying...
But if my body is dying, I wouldn't be able to move around as much, but I also could sit and type all day or knit all day and be just fine. These are the things that I do, guy. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
Not a serious one.
I feel like it would be either in my sleep and like unconsequential, or it would be like blaze of glory. I don't think it would be anything in between. I feel like it would be, I'd either be awake and it'd be like some real shit going on, or I'd be asleep and then I'd just die and just move on.
That's how I want to go, in my sleep.
in your sleep. There you
Yeah.
go. Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common.
We both like my dogs.
Yeah.
What's the other thing?
You gotta have.
Oh, I have to have 3
3
and you have to have
things.
3? We
Yeah.
can't come up with them together?
Yeah, it's 3 things and 3 things.
Why is this such a hard question? It's not a hard question.
It really isn't.
We both like music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, love
Okay,
music,
that's
love music.
2 things, right?
And movies. Watching them, not so much making them. I'm not good at that.
Okay. Those 3 things.
I thought-
We're both really good with people, and I would also say sunglasses.
Put your finger mark on mine. I can't see it.
Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. And then I would say, we're both about the same height.
No, we're not.
Generally speaking, you're only a little bit shorter than I am.
How tall are you? You're 6 foot?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5'6".
It's only
6 inches?
it's only half a foot.
You
That's
get it.
not-
All right,
that's
that
not
counts.
bad. That counts. Don't judge me. Number 9. For what in your life do you feel most grateful?
For what in my life? For my life. The fact that I'm alive. I'm grateful for that.
I feel grateful for having and cultivating many talents. I feel like that's something about myself that I've always thoroughly enjoyed, that I'm able to go forth and like do things that most people wouldn't have the ability. I don't know.
I like that about you too.
If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
I would work less. I would work so much less. So much less.
I don't think I would have changed anything about my childhood. I feel like it was pretty solid. You know, has ups and its downs, but I feel like it made me the person I am now. Okay, these are getting more extreme.
Oof.
Take 4 minutes and tell your life story in as much detail as possible.
I grew up in Iowa. A small family on a farm. I have a twin. Graduated high school. Graduated college. Lived in Colorado for a while. Was a drug addict. For a bit. And now I work for a decently awesome technology company. And I have an amazing boyfriend. And 2 huskies that are perfectly imperfect. There's only a
so
minute.
much more time left. Yeah.
I have a degree in digital forensics and associates. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice and a bachelor's in cybersecurity. All a waste of money. Just a waste. I have a nephew named Hux, and I have a pregnant younger sister. Both married to fantastical men. My mom's a midget. She's like 5 foot tall.
That's not.
I feel
a
like you
midget
should.
status, is it?
feel like you should like put a picture of her in here, like a little.
Just like here,
Just a little
this one.
insert. Yeah, 'cause she'll fit right there. My family owns their own bulldozing and excavating land conservation business. That's exciting.
You still have like half of your time left.
Let's. Really,
That's your
I
life
ride
story.
my bike every day, just about every day. I don't have a car anymore. I'm a Ford fan. Ford! Not found on road dead for all you bleeps. I want to learn how to play the guitar again. When
Another minute.
I know.
Keep going.
When I was younger, my twin and I made a dance group called 3RWF. And it was three of us girls, Wycoop, Russell, and Fitzgerald. Because, you know, there are actually four of us girls, but only three last names. So that's what you get for having a twin. I bought a new pair of rollerblades.
This is your life story. Okay.
They can have a huge impact on my future. Maybe I can be a roller derby woman.
Okay.
And no
Okay, you
face.
still got some time?
No, I don't.
Okay, you're good. Okay, so 32 to 36, right?
You got it.
So, my name is David Baugh. I was born in Texas and raised here in Austin, and I, always wanted to be a filmmaker. I guess every wishing well, every shooting star, and every, like time the clock strikes 11:11, I only wish to be a filmmaker. And then, I guess when I was going into high school, we had a fine arts school, so I joined theater. I actually got goaded into it because this guy, he was asking people to sign up for theater, and I was thinking like, no, that's stupid. I don't want to do any of that. And then I told him that. I was like, no, man, this is stupid. Like, I don't want to be on stage or anything. And he was like, are you too stupid to like swing a hammer? Because like, you could also just build sets. I was like, well, no, I'm not too stupid to build sets. And then I like signed the paper. And then it was like, well, I guess I should show up, and that was a wonderful experience. And then we were the #1 broadcasting school in the nation. I guess when I got out of that, I was doing the show Friday Night Lights. I did that for 3 years. I met Brandon, my roommate, through doing Friday Night Lights. I had lines on the show eventually, and then I've bounced around and done a lot of production work. I've done about 15 to 20 short films. I've done about 20 to 30 stage plays. I've been in 3 or 4 movies. I've edited a couple feature films. I also have written 5 feature films now and 20 to 30 other shorts that haven't been shot yet. I've written most of a book. I've been playing guitar for 20 years now. I've finally gotten to a point where I can actually like stand to listen to myself play, which is nice. It took a long time to get there. And then I like to act, I like to do stuff, and have this daily vlog, so you guys know exactly what's been happening the last 51 days. Or 52 now. This is 52? No, this is 52. I think 51 was today. It was
52. It is 52 today.
So, and then every year for Christmas, I give myself the gift of a long-lasting and fruitful habit. This year was starting this daily upload. I also know how to cook. I found that my talent is in having and cultivating many talents. I'm probably never going to be the best in any one thing, but I'm really good at a lot of things and can, do whatever is needed on the spot. I always like the phrase, jack of all trades and a master of none is often better than the master of one. And I find that lots of people cut off that last bit.
They do, never heard it.
Definitely part of the equation. And this 4 minutes is brutal. This is like a long time, right?
Well, yours is more flawless than mine.
Had a dog for 18 years. I had a cat that was 20. Also had some fish that were 10 years old.
Yeah.
They were just the worst pets ever, and I hated every minute of it. And I had to clean their tank. That was terrible. I've had 34 different jobs in my life. Everything from being a security guard for 5 days. I worked in a theater doing lights and sound for different productions. I've worked in 7 different call centers. You've probably heard me on the phone. And I'm a filmmaker by trade now. but that's my 4 minutes. Deal with it. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained one quality or ability, what would it be? It would have to be flight. I would want to fly. Although I did that.
You did do that.
I did do that.
Probably time travel.
Time travel?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay, so these go in 3 sets. They're supposed to get more and more intense questioning as we go through them. This is set number 2. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about your life, yourself, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
If I'm gonna be happy. Like, genuinely happy. Like, not just fake happy, like happy, but happy.
If you're going to be happy?
Or if I will be happy in the future.
I feel like I would want to know if I could know how many movies I'm going to make before I die. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? I've always dreamed of making movies. I have done it, but I feel like as soon as I finished that one, then I was like, shit, when's the next one? Like, how does this, like, when do we keep going?
I would say owning my own business. I would probably start like data recovery, digital recovery, forensic consultant business. Excuse me.
What is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
Overcoming my drug use. Would probably be one of my proudest accomplishments.
I would say, well, I was on Friday Night Lights. I guess that counts, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
I had
badass.
I had lines on the show. And I also made a movie. That was pretty up there. Definitely. What do you value most in friendship?
Honesty.
Just general willingness to do, like, to be part of the friendship, I think is something that I value the most, is being willing to go forth and, like, or to keep that thing going, I think helps, you know, being willing to pick up the phone and call. Oh, I'm terrible at that.
So am I.
Yeah. But, you know, our loyalty, I guess you could say. What is your most treasured memory?
Okay. Only reason it's treasured is because everybody in my family and everybody I tell the story to, it's a freaking hoot. I didn't cherish it at the time. I cherish it now. I used to have this habit of like leaving toast in a toaster for days to where it get like super rock hard. So one day I was on my way to school, high school, and I was fixing to walk out the door, and my dad's like, "You're gonna eat this toast," and I was like, "I'm not," and he was like, "You are." So before I left the house, I had to eat the toast as well as I was late for weightlifting. So he's like, "Well, you can eat it on your way to school." Mind you, I live in Iowa, so like the ditches are 12 feet deep, where you can like bury a body in there anytime you want, no problem. So, you know, halfway to school, which was like 10 miles country, threw the 2 pieces of bread out the window, right? And I go all day, not thinking twice about this bread. And then I come home, and those 2 fucking pieces of bread are sitting on my kitchen table with my same bite out of the same spot. And my dad's like, "Did you eat that toast today?" And I was like, "Absolutely." Like, I was dead set on telling him I ate that toast. Did not eat that toast. And I had to eat it anyway. My dad found the toast, then proceeded to make me eat it that evening. It was an awful memory, like a traumatic memory at the time, for what it's worth. Cherished now, yeah.
I remember one year for Christmas, we didn't have a lot of money, and my mother was like super depressed about it. My dad, you know, the general vibe was pretty low because we were, you know, we just didn't have much money at the time, and it was Christmas, you know. And we had, I guess my mother went to sleep, and she was saying, you know, I guess we can't have Christmas the way that we normally do, and we'd had a lot of Christmases before this that were fantastic, you know, but she was super depressed, so she went to sleep, and me and my older brother Jonathan got up in the middle. We hadn't gotten to sleep, and we got all of the decorations out of the attic. Like, she had boxes and boxes of decorations, and we were thinking, well, you know, we don't have money to spend, but we do have all of these decorations around, and so we got all of them up, and then we decorated the whole house, and we put up the Christmas tree that hadn't been put up before, and we wrapped all of these things that we had, like we wrapped just like toys that we had, and we made sure that everybody had something, and that there, that it looked like there was an abundance even though there wasn't, that sort of thing. And I remember my mom got up that morning and she was just like in tears, like she couldn't believe it, and it just like turned the whole thing around. It was one of my favorite Christmases. I mean, there were some great Christmases, certainly, and my parents certainly provided for me in an excellent manner, but we still all thoroughly enjoyed our company, and it's a good memory for me now. What is your most terrible memory?
You can go first.
When I was very little, like I was in daycare, and we would take these field trips to go to a skating rink, and it was a good time. I always enjoyed that part of it. But one time, we're driving, and the lady that was like driving the bus hit this dog with a bus full of children. We all had to get out. Oh my God. She was like freaking out and crying, and just like couldn't hold her shit together enough to like drive the car any further. And we all got out, and the dog is there, like, yeah, its tongue was all like hanging out, its mouth all messed up,
Not funny.
It's not. It's a terrible memory. But I remember she turned to me that day, and she was like, "If you ever tell anyone this, then like you're gonna be in so much trouble, and I'm gonna tell your parents, and like this is just gonna be awful for you if you don't do it." And I never told anybody for like the longest time. Yeah, I just didn't want to get in trouble. But I remember thinking like, man, that was traumatic. and at a young age. And then I remember laughing at the time, because it's like, man, it doesn't really get much shittier when hitting a dog with a bus full of kids. So, yeah.
Mine actually has to do with animals also. We weren't allowed to have pets. So in our windowsill one summer, a mama cat had kittens in the windowsill. Mm-hmm. So us girls, we had a playhouse in the middle of our yard. It was summer in Iowa, like 100 degrees. So we split the cats up. Those two girls got 3 cats, and I got 3 little kittens, And we couldn't let our parents know. So we had another garage across the driveway, and then we had the playhouse. So the other 2 girls put their cats in the playhouse, and I put mine in the garage, and we forgot about them for like 4 days. 4 days.
Oh shit.
Came back out. And my dad was sitting there cleaning out these kittens that were just like rock solid.
Oh man.
And we had to explain to him what they were. This is gonna be on the internet. This is
gonna be on the internet, yeah.
Yeah, my dad's gonna be like, yeah, you sick fuck.
Kill all them cats. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you are living now, and why? Yeah?
Yeah, I'd go pretty hard into a lot of aspects of life. I definitely would be different.
If I was to know that I was going to die, I'd probably still be doing exactly what I'm doing now.
Really? You want to go and go naked with me? And
That's how we met. What are you talking about? What does friendship mean to you? I'd say friendship is those people in your life that are sort of ride or die. They help you through thick and thin, and you help them. I think that it is, those people that are by your side when you're going forth to conquer, as they say.
It means being able to find the traits and qualities in certain people that are an asset to you, right? Like that make you a better person, that make them a better person. So certain people, can be certain, different assets to you. There are going to be those friends that are your ride or die, and then there are also going to be those friends that You know, like I have a friend that I call in Iowa. I haven't talked to her for like 3 months, and then talked to her on Friday, and it was like the most phenomenal video call like ever. You know, so being able to find those, you know, friendship is the qualities in people that you can mesh with.
What roles do love and affection play in your life?
Definitely huge roles. I mean, like romantic, you know, love and affection. Obviously, when it's there and it's good, it's obviously better be playing a huge role.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd say that it definitely plays a major part in mine. Alternate sharing something you consider positive characteristics of your partner. Share a total of 5 items.
You are hilarious.
You are really great in social situations.
I don't know, you have a very indescribable mindset. I think I've like tried to say it before. But yeah, you have a very unique mindset. Very open, very beautiful mindset.
You are extremely loving and caring of everyone around you.
You have a gorgeous ass smile.
I thoroughly enjoy being around you. I don't think I've never had a time where I didn't enjoy the time that I was with you.
You're a genuinely good person, you know? Like when people want to describe somebody as a good person, you know, they kind of like speak out their ass, but you're the person that they want to be describing as a good person. Like you have every bit of, you're kind to people, you listen to people, you respond to people. Like not just good with, you know, every situation, but you're good with people. You're just a good person.
You make fucking fantastic tater tot.
Damn it! I was gonna say the bunch of chicken and waffles. That was gonna be my last one. My last one is he makes spectacular chicken and waffles.
I like how independent you are. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's? I would say absolutely. My childhood was fantastic. My parents are fantastic people. Both of my brothers, fantastic people.
They are.
We all, every time we see each other, just a great time.
No, I definitely had a better childhood than most, for sure. And I do have a pretty warm family now. I mean, we've worked for it, but definitely I have a great family.
How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
My mom is insane. I love my mom. I seriously, that woman's my best friend. Like, hands down my best friend. But she has this awesome balance between being this like life lesson crazy bitch and the life lesson mom. Right, she's gonna show you both ends of that spectrum. Learn it.
Well, my mother passed away, but I'd say that I got a whole lot from her before she passed away. I'd say she definitely made me into the person that I am today. Definitely instilled a lot of really positive values in my life and gave me all the tools that I needed to succeed. I think she was a wonderful person and the world is lucky to have her. All right, Internet, so we're in the home stretch. This is the set number 3. We're going to do this without the glasses. Let's get close.
We're gonna go
intimate,
face
ladies
naked.
and gentlemen. We're going to go face naked, apparently. Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling
Horny.
That's not a we statement.
We are both awesome.
We both bike.
We both like to eat his food.
We both helped make that press conference video.
We are a power couple.
We both care about each other. Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share blank. I'll go first. Eternity together.
Did you see his face like he just won the race? Oh my God.
It was good, right?
A toothbrush with forever.
A toothbrush.
I don't really want to use anybody's toothbrush, but if I had to use one.
If you're going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know.
That you'll always be a priority.
That I am terrible with keeping up with people. I get very in a zone and I'll forget everything else that's happening around me and I'll be doing that one thing, but it's not that I don't care or want to talk to you. I just am terrible at keeping it up. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things you might not say to someone you've just met.
I like that you make me feel like I can be a better person without being a different person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've set very good examples for, like, positive and productive ways that people should think and behave. And I think that should be adopted by more people. And I like that I get to learn that shit every day, and all you guys do as well. I'm just gonna talk around, but here you do.
I think that you're a very stand-up person. You're just, and from the very moment that I met you, it was like, I just liked everything about you. And we've never gotten in an argument. You were naked, and I was also naked. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. The most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me, I was doing Friday Night Lights, and it was a game, so there was like thousands and thousands of people there. I think it was like 5,000 people or so were in the audience. There was like a school band, right? This whole thing. And I had a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a long time came to that set, and I was getting changed into the costume that they gave me, and you have to give the costume back at the end of the night. And he ran off with my clothes. So I was like mostly naked in front of, like, I was in my underwear. I had like my underwear and socks and shoes on. And I was walking through this crowd of like 5,000 people. There's a fucking school, there's like a high school band there. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I was naked and walking around, and I had to like wait in line, and like you have to give your slip to somebody, and then they like sign it, and then you have to go and stand in another line, and then I had to wait through that whole line to get my thing signed, and people just like asking me why I'm naked because I'm the only one. And it's like, well, my clothes got stolen. So I figured, fuck it, just do it up. And I just embraced it, and it, you know, I had Mighty Mouse underwear on. That's my most embarrassing. What was yours?
Probably most embarrassing was in high school. I had forgotten my spandex for my softball. I was catcher, always catcher. You know, and I didn't wear my spandex, you know, and I didn't have skivvies on underneath. So I came down, like squatted down. And it was a really big game. It was an ASA game, so it was like states involved and not just school, because it was outside of school. I didn't have chonies on. That thing split all the way up to the belt. Like, it was awful. Pretty sure more people have seen my cuckoo than I would like to admit without having to put out a tape like Kim K. Like, far too many people that I know have seen it. Far too many people that I don't know have seen it.
When did you last cry in front of another person or by yourself? I was crying. We were watching I Am Sam the other day. That was so sad.
I cried thinking about it.
Yeah, it was sad. When he's like running and he's trying to meet his daughter for the appointment, he's like late and he
drops the cake.
And he drops the cake.
Oh, stop. I saw it too. I cried on the phone to my mom once on Thursday.
What's going on Thursday? Oh, yeah. Tell your partner something that you like about them already. This wonderful smile.
Like your hands. You guys seen these hands?
What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
Honestly, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. If nothing else, I remember thinking at some points in my childhood, like, man, this is like super traumatic.
Like you actually thought
this is like fucked up for a child to see you do. Like, you know, it's fine. But I always laughed about it Because it was always like, fuck it. I'll just keep on keeping on. Just walk away. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet?
I'll be honest, people think I'm weird because I say it's like I'm pretty direct with how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not many people, to be really honest. The people that are worth it, the people that need to know how I feel, they know how I feel.
I tend to be good with confrontation. I never was afraid of telling people something. Even if it was something difficult, I don't think I ever held anything back. I'll definitely, try and sugarcoat it as much as possible, but I don't know if there's anything I haven't told anybody yet. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why?
It would be my picture of my best friend that had our locket welded to it.
I would 100% pick the Recording King. It's just the most fantastic guitar I've ever played. My dad gave it to me. It is by far my most valuable possession. I play it all the time, like almost every day. If not that other guitar, but I've been playing it since I learned to start playing 20 years ago. My dad used to play it for us when we were in the bathtub, like as real little kids. He would play it for us every night. And I think it's what made me want to start playing guitar. I feel like I would not know what to do with myself if I lost it. I feel like I'm gonna play for my kids. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
My twin.
Twin makes sense.
Yeah.
I think my little brother Daniel, because he's the youngest of all of us. He's the one that, he's like the heart that brings it all together. And I feel like if he was to die, my dad, that would be awful. Jonathan, that would be awful too. But Daniel's the baby, it seems like. Number 36, the final question. We made it through just about. Not quite, but just about. Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back on how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. I tend to jump around from thing to thing far more than I probably should. Like, I've had 34 jobs. And at a certain point, it's like, yeah, I think that's just my life, but then I feel like I don't have any super long-lasting relationships with people. Other than, like, close family. I don't know anybody from high school anymore. I don't know anybody, like Brandon and Chris have been friends since high school, or even earlier than that, I think, right? So it's like I don't have anybody like that because I've been so varied. But it's kind of difficult. How would you handle that?
Well, maybe kind of starting with the reflecting on why you may. I think anybody would kind of go into those thoughts when they see people have connections like Chris and Brandon. Those aren't typical, right? Like people that last that long out of high school and stuff like that. It's not typical, though. People move away and stuff like that happens. Like I'm not anywhere near any mine. And I don't like, especially my family, I don't even really know my family much anymore. But, that doesn't change the relationships you want to have with them. My best advice would be, you have had these 34 jobs, right? You've met people through all of them. You're obviously conscious of, like you said earlier, not keeping in touch with people. And, that's actually something that I struggle with too. But I guess just making more or finding a way to make more of a conscious effort, because I think it would kind of fulfill that connection to a friendship or relationship, whatever you're trying to gain with these people, or whatever its ultimate goal is, whether it be friendships or friends and people to support you and your future.
Makes sense.
My inability to be completely straight with people, like as blunt as I used to be. Just because I almost fear people, like to an extent. You go through certain parts of life and you end up seeing these sides of people that like kind of make you fear how you tell them certain things, or because I have a blunt way of relaying information, people are like, they're gonna take that to heart quick, or they're gonna take that offensive. What are they gonna do next? Are they gonna be destructive to themselves? They're gonna be destructive to people around them? Are they even gonna take it destructively? And it's hard to get past that mindset of them taking it destructively, and keep putting myself into a mindset to believe that they can take it productively.
Yeah. Well, what would be the consequences of them not doing it, right? It would be terrible either way, right?
Right. Yeah.
So with confrontation, you're doing the little bit that's going to get you the most out of it later, right?
Right.
So when I think about having to confront people with something, I'm usually thinking, well, if I don't have this conversation right now, a little bit down the line, much, much worse problem, right? If they take it destructively, it's probably better than the outcome of them doing the thing that you had to talk to them about anyway.
True.
If it was going to go that way, it was going to go that way. Either way, right? You can't control somebody's reactions. You can just control how you present yourself to them.
I just don't like upsetting people. Like, it upsets me to upset people. Like, I tell somebody,
they're going to be more upset if you get to a point that, like, hey, you could have just told me back there that I had spinach in my teeth, and then I wouldn't have made a fucking idiot out of myself, right?
Well, how do I know you wouldn't have blamed me for putting the spinach in your teeth?
Why would anybody have done that, right? But when you don't tell them, then it's like, well, shit, I could have done something about this, and now I can't. We've taken up enough of your time tonight. You guys enjoy the rest of your Valentine's Day. I know that we are going to. But it was a pleasure as always, and you guys have a wonderful evening.